Hey now, Judy Moulton, Grateful Mindset Properties Realty Radio Show host. Thanks for listening each week, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. on 107.7 FM. I am grateful today for my audience, grateful to bring a tad of real estate news, art, science, human interest, special guests from the local area and beyond. Each week and more, I strive to do the best that I can with what I got, and I'm grateful for consumer advocacy and to bring that to each and every person that I encounter, volunteering my time, my information to the public, wanting to make sure each person I encounter, knows that they have rights and what those are and how to help them get answers to what they don't know, or what they may not be aware of. Judy Moulton, Grateful Mindset Properties broker in charge here in Hendersonville. And I'm living and working to change lives in Western North Carolina since 2018. Grateful Mindset Properties was founded in 2020. We have an office in Hendersonville, North Carolina, in Lenox Park, the historic Lenox Park area off of Spring, Canoga, Hebron, about a half a mile from Main Street in downtown Hendersonville. We have a reach far and wide, just like here on the radio show each week, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. on WKHP, 107.7 FM, AM 1450. Wow, grateful to remember things too. So just a few announcements before we get on our way. On the MLS today, we have about 11 coming soons, about 26 new MLS listings. We've got a few price increases, a few price decreases, and a few back on the market. Some of those lovely new listings in Hendersonville and beyond. In Hendersonville, we've got a price point in the $330,000, which is great. It's a condo, which is nice. We've got some townhomes in Hendersonville, about $308,000. You know, as I mentioned, about $300,000 is the fixer-upper price, your single-wide, your double-wide, the fixer-upper in Henderson, Buncombe County. If you want to travel about 30, 45 minutes outside of Hendersonville or outside of Henderson County or outside of Buncombe County, you can find things between $350 that may be, a fixer-upper. And need some work. Move-in readies are usually $400,000 and up. That's the median price range across the United States. But we're lucky to have property here that is active. It is fabulous to see that. We are in a low inventory market across the United States. We are in a low inventory market here in the Western North Carolina base of the Great Smoky Mountains. We have some price decreases, and we usually see those price decreases because homes sit on the market for a while because they need quite a bit of work. It's a flipper, and they didn't pull permits. They didn't hire a home inspector. They didn't get, a licensed contractor that's insured, bonded to get the work done, and so the resale value is not great, and so therefore people looking to buy see all these issues when they get an inspection done or even just have some know-how themselves, and they recognize, hey, this was a quick flip, and these people that did the flip live outside of the area, therefore they're not going to be responsible, and they're just selling it as is, and so those factors definitely play a role. So moving on, we've got some fun facts to share. So interest rates right now, the 30 years at about 7.15. We expect to see these interest rates stay in the mid to high sevens. We may see them go up again before the end of the year, but they'll definitely be over 6% in 2023. Hopefully we'll see some changes in 2024, but that is definitely a factor in, what's happening here in the area and across the U.S. in terms of not only the low inventory, but in terms of sellers not wanting to list right now, kids back in school. The high interest rates means there's less buyers. But I will tell you, we still have properties that are being sold over list. That is a fact that plays a role in what's going on. We've got home equity lines of credit. They were big. We saw a massive 50% increase in 2022 compared to 2020. So the HELOC, the home equity line of credit, was a big thing that people have been doing. In addition to, buying down the rate or different things that they do to help them purchase property. The average outstanding balance of home equity loans went up to about 61,000 by the end of the year in 2022. That's a big deal. The downside includes having another mortgage. If you default on the loan, risk of foreclosure. HELOCs are a big deal, but obviously talk to your lender, your loan officer. I am not a licensed lender. I can only talk in generalities. That's something that you need to talk to specifics about with your loan officer your local bank, your credit union. 3 of the recommendations I usually tell folks to take a look at. Another interesting fun fact is, buyer's agency that's been in the lawsuit. It's been talked about recently, and that's, something that people weigh in. I will tell you, my sellers, my listers, those folks, we're seeing a lot more since 2020, we're seeing a lot more of sellers just putting their property on the MLS and wanting to pay just a flat fee, what's called a less than ideal situation, because what happens is they just slap it on the MLS and they really have no sort of representation. They have, these MLS flat fees. These companies could be in Nevada, they could be as far as Raleigh, but they really don't know the local market. So the pictures that are taken could be done on a phone, or they use these sort of generic pictures, these stock photos. And so there's very little that's offered. And so what we're seeing, what that affects is it affects the buying side, affects the buyer, especially those first-time home buyers that are wanting to put less money down, 1 or 3%. And so if they now have to pay more to cover that buyer's fee, or what's called the buyer's agent fee, because the buyer's agent's not going to pay and the seller's not going to pay. So we see more of these flat fees, even from a buyer's agent, just trying to make up that fee, because what ends up happening is the buyer's agent has to do more on their side to, because if there's these limited listing services out there that basically do nothing, that means it falls more on the buyer's agent. That means that we need to be, paid for the services that we're offering now, even more above and beyond than we normally would, because the listing agent, there's nobody on that side. So, and then what happens, we have to have the buyer pay more, and that 0.25%, that 0.5%, that 1%, whatever the seller is not paying, the buyer now has to pay. And so, we see more and more of that happening. But I do have a special guest that's going to be coming on, Sara Cole. She works for the Main Event here in Hendersonville, and she's going to talk a little bit about who she is, what she does, what brought her on the radio today. She used to work for SafeLight, and she'll talk a little bit more about that. So, Sara, please, welcome. Thanks for being here, and tell me about the Main Event and anything you want to share with the audience today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Judy. It's a pleasure to be here.
You're welcome.
I am currently Director of Sales and Events with the Main Event on Main Street. It's 125 South Main next to Never Blue. We are a new modern event venue for our community. So we will be able to host everything from weddings, quinceañeras, corporate trainings, birthday parties, you name it. We are just a beautiful space, a blank canvas, and can provide any and all of your dreams. So we encourage you guys to come by and see us. We're doing free tours, of course, during the days, Monday through Friday, even in the evenings for those that work late.
So you're doing free tours because you have not opened yet, correct? We
actually had our grand opening gala. That did go to benefit SafeLight, which is another a little piece I'll speak on. We did have that. We are still doing events, smaller events right now, but are getting ready to be open here within the next month. Okay. So, but yes, we're still doing tours, and we are booking out weddings and parties from here all the way to 2025.
Okay. Now, why would someone choose the Main Event over, like we were talking about before we even started the show, but like, hey, let's, rent a barn or, some of these other venues that are out there? Tell me, kind of fill in because you guys basically came in to fill in a gap that basically doesn't exist.
Absolutely. We have a lot of great venues around in our community that are kind of on the outskirts of town and out and around. And what we decided was Hendersonville could really benefit from having a centralized location to Main Street to host up to 299 people for all the nonprofits in our community. Again, even the Hendersonville Police Department is having their big Western North Carolina training with us next year.
Fabulous.
So, yeah, just like I said, a blank canvas, something that was needed in Hendersonville. And so we're happy to be here and to be able to provide that space.
So, Sarah, do you seat up to 299? Tell me.
That's more standing room. For
Okay.
sitting dinners, it's going to be around 230.
Okay. And what are some prices? I'm sure people are like, this is so cool. Didn't even know it existed. What are we looking at price-wise?
That's going to vary.
Fun facts there.
That's definitely going to vary. We have nonprofit discounts that start at anywhere from $500 from the front marble room to $1,500 for the main ballroom. It's going to change a little bit depending on if it's a Monday through Thursday or if it's a Friday, Sunday versus a Saturday.
Parking, because I bet you that's a big question.
It is a huge question, yes.
All of us know about Main Street and parking.
Right.
But if you're on Main Street,
yes.
So go ahead, talk about that.
So we are in a relationship with a gentleman that leases a bunch of the bigger, several different larger lots within a 0.2 mile radius from where we are. And he actually has a valet service. So we offer that valet service to be wrapped into the packages. Our packages, it's basically a base rate, and then there's an a la carte menu that you get to add on what you choose. The valet service is beautiful and amazing because it just makes it very simplified. Of course, we have a great relationship with the visitor center next door in Wells Fargo.
Yeah, a lot of us do.
So, yeah, right. And so they have definitely offered their spaces for open parking when they don't have an event going on. So we're very grateful for them.
Yeah, and we know like there's the side streets and off of Church and off of Washington, but obviously the closer and valet is going to be ideal because, whatever winter months, anything, people want to be as close as possible to the main event.
Absolutely.
As they can. I love the name, by the way. And so tell me, how did the main event come about? Like, what was the you know what? Wow, that's a great idea. So how did it give me the history. How did that even come to be?
So, Brittany Bettini is the owner, and I came to know her through my work at SafeLight. Great. I was with SafeLight for 6.5 years, director of development for 3.5 of those years. Fabulous. Brittany is actually a survivor of domestic violence.
So in case people don't know what SafeLight is,
yes,
just real 2 sentences.
Absolutely. SafeLight is our local crisis shelter for interpersonal violence. So it's a 24-hour shelter with a 24-hour hotline, 6 different programs. It's amazing and beautiful. Go eat at the Dandelion and go shop at the resale store and support that beautiful mission.
Both off of Main Street, in case you don't know where SafeLight is.
Yep, off of 5th and Church,
yeah.
Or 5th and Main. So I met Brittany through SafeLight, and she's a survivor. She ended up being a speaker for us, and our friendship just grew and blossomed, and she saw a need in the community as we searched for a place to hold our events. And she saw that need, and so she brought this into a vision and then into a creation.
Wow! And it's just the two of you right now.
Just the two of us.
That seems like a lot.
It does, but we have some other resources. She is a serial entrepreneur.
Okay.
She owns an industrial cleaning business, so we are able to outsource some of that work for setting up and breaking down, which we do roll into our packages, and are able to utilize some of her other employees, which is just beautiful because it comes full circle.
Absolutely. And now with all of the events or just non-profit, it said some proceeds go to SafeLight. So how does that?
Well, that was just for our opening gala.
Oh, just for the opening gala. Okay.
But we do offer nonprofit discounts because we do want to be able to support the other nonprofits in our community because, let's be honest, we have a lot and they're all amazing and they all give back, and we want to be able to give back in that capacity as well.
Great. That's good to hear. Yeah. Because one of the nonprofits I support is Homes for Youth. You don't know this, but I'm a charity liaison as well as an activities coordinator for the Hendersonville Welcome Club.
Wonderful.
And we pick a charity every year. And right now we're supporting Homes for Youth, which is a full-time foster care where they're usually part-time only. You're probably familiar. And so it's a local nonprofit. So I'll keep you guys in mind maybe for a main event.
Yes, please do.
Another is Mountain Song. I know we're always looking for some special Mountain Song as a community chorus that I'm a member of as well. And so that's good to know that's the main event is there, and there's a place to go and to rent space and, share space that's, it's a beautiful location too.
Absolutely.
So food, where do you guys get food from? Catering?
So we actually are just the venue. We are just the space. But on our website, we have a preferred vendors list where we list a lot of different caterers, event planners, local musicians, sound, everything that you can think of. We're really into supporting local.
Perfect.
So, and we don't restrict our clients that if they want to come and have their wedding, if they say, hey, I really want so-and-so to come and do the catering, they're not on your list, that's fine. Because if they're not on the list, you want them to be.
Okay.
So it just needs to be something that we approve. But, we want to support local as much as possible.
Okay, so you're probably familiar with Summer Stipe and
I love Summer Stipe.
Yeah,
I had
her
tea with her the other morning.
Okay. I was thinking about local and curating, things to do in the area.
She's now on our list, on our vendor list.
I figured. So very cool. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else is important. What do you think else you want to tell, folks about the main event or anything that you think is important to share with the audience?
Yeah, I'm just so grateful to be able to have this opportunity to speak about us and to kind of get the word out there. I do encourage anybody to, even if you're just taking a walk on Main Street, you're having lunch, you finish lunch, if you just want to pop in, please pop in and come see me. Check out our website. It is themaineventwnc.com. My phone number is 828-974-1281. And come get to know us, see the space, and let us know how we can help you create a project for you or a space for your wedding, whatever it is that may be.
Very, very nice. Okay. So I'm going to move on to just a couple of more fun facts. Sarah, if you want to just stick around for a couple minutes before we end. So I'm not going to take a break. I'm just going to kind of talk right through. So I have a minute left here on the air. Not too. I just saw the time pop up, and just wanted to say, last week I had a loan officer on, and he was fabulous, local guy that I met at another grand opening, we were talking about construction loans and lending and different things, and he gave me some useful insight. Whether you're a general contractor or not, so construction loans, so I talked a moment ago about HELOCs. A lot of people were doing HELOCs. They still are, trying to pull equity out of their home and using that for renovation or construction. So a couple of other things that are really important is that, if you're looking to renovate, remodel, build a home, let's just focus on renovation and remodel. And so there are renovation loans versus construction loan, right? So a renovation loan, remodel loan, renovation loan, those rates tend to be a lot lower than a construction loan. But the most important thing to remember, number A, is you really want to have your home inspected. We call the home inspector the honey-do list. So having your home inspected gives you, as a seller, and then your future buyers, hey, this is kind of what's going on. And these are the things that you'll go over with that licensed, very important from resale, very important, especially if you're trying to sell your home, and et cetera, pass it on to your family member, is to have a insured, licensed, bonded general contractor basically look at that home inspection and review and concur. Yeah, these are the things you want to fix. These are some real easy do-it-yourself items, or handyman, change a light bulb, whatever, switch plate, things that handymans can do because they do not need to be licensed to do. But if you're getting any more involved, beyond changing a light bulb and a plate, you really need a licensed individual. General contractor can do electrical, plumbing, carpentry. And then if it's, over a certain amount, they'll usually bring on some of their side guys, or they'll hire another vendor and they'll bring them out. If it's a much larger job, just to kind of piggytail on what they might be doing. But you really want home inspection, licensed contractor who is also insured, and they show you that proof of insurance. That protects you as the consumer, protects your buyers, and so on. So those are really important things to keep an eye on. Construction loans, there's nothing wrong with them. Rates tend to be higher. They're, great things to have as well. There's different construction loans out there. There's owner-builder construction loans. So if you are a licensed contractor, and that may be something that you want to do, certainly can, and then once you get that home renovated, obviously hire a listing agent. You're listening to Judy Moulton, Grateful Mindset Properties Realty Radio host. I'd love, to come out, even just do a real estate review. You can call or text me at 828-290-0940. You can check us out at gratefulmindsetproperties.com. You can listen to any of my podcasts. If you go on the front page of our website and you scroll down, you'll see previous shows. You'll get to hear Sara's show. If you miss us this morning on Saturdays at 9 a.m. On WHKP.com, where the heaven kisses the peaks, 107.7 FM, AM 1450. But if you miss us, Apple.com podcasts, Spotify podcasts, we have all of our shows. They're there for you to come back and listen to anytime you need. But again, I could do a real estate review, and we can check things out, and that'll also be something. So A, home inspection; B, licensed contractor; C, an agent that really, wants to protect your rights and stands for the consumers. And that's why I do this. This is why I volunteer each week on the radio, to really help folks out, besides my guests that I bring on. So feel free to reach out for any reason or no reason. And I hope to hear from you soon. 828-290-0940. Thank you so much, folks, for listening. Appreciate you taking your time. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, folks, welcome back. I had taken a short break. Sarah and I took a break. Sarah Cole is still with me, and I, shared some fun facts while I was waiting for her to return, and she's back, and we're going to talk a little bit more about some fun events, things happening around town, some proposed events and things. And so, Sarah, tell me a little bit more about what we were just talking about.
Absolutely. So I know we spoke a lot about the main event and the other events that will be occupying our venue. However, we had some other local talent that we wanted to be able to support. Missy Lindsay is a professional dancer for over 33 years. Yes. And everything from ballroom, country, swing, salsa, and various other dances. She's been teaching out of Asheville, and she actually and her dance partner performed at our gala. We are opening our space for her to bring those dance classes to Hendersonville.
We need them.
Yes, we need something different around town for people to experience. So
of all ages, right?
Of all ages, okay. Absolutely, yeah. And so they're actually starting tonight. You can go online to register if you go on the main event, WNC.com.
Okay.
At the top of the menu, you will see where there's an option for dance classes, and you can go and register for the month. And it's just something fun to do on the side.
Can you register for just one, or do you have to do like the whole month?
That's a great question, and I'll have to check into that with Missy. I think when I was looking into it, because I might do it myself, it was a month for $60, which really isn't a bad deal at all, because it's once a week for a couple of hours. So... Okay. It's a lot of fun.
That's a lot of fun. That's great. Anything else that might be coming down the pipe?
Yes. So I don't know if I'm sure those in this community know of the name Ryan Perry, but he is an awesome country singer, born and raised here in Hendersonville.
And we're on a country station, so this is great.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to you, Ryan. But yeah, he found out about us and has gotten involved. We've been forming a relationship. He's such a great guy, and he was in need of a place to be able to sing in his hometown. So we are looking at booking him for a day in January. When that is confirmed, that will be listed also on our website. So be sure to check that out, because we will have ticket sales up for you guys to come and hear the amazing Ryan Perry.
So Ryan Perry's from Hendersonville?
He is.
Oh, wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'll have to look him up.
Look him up. He's on Spotify. He's on YouTube. He's on all the things.
Nice.
So check him out. And then, of course, we've been kind of mulling around some ideas, working with him to maybe host like a local writers' night. Mm-hmm. Just something where that's a little bit smaller and more intimate for the community to come, have dinner, have a glass of wine, and then get to experience hearing some local writers in town and sharing their songs and their stories. Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow, I love that idea too. Well, and every song tells a story, so it's cool to be able to have like an intimate conversation and experience that, and they'll say, hey, this is why we did this or that. And
absolutely.
Hopefully the audience will be able to communicate or ask questions too. But
yeah, music is everything. Music is a huge piece of my world, and
agreed.
Yeah, so everything does tell a story. So I'm absolutely loving the creative collaboration that's happening right now with us and members of our community, and just saying, let's get together and let's talk about what this looks like. What can we bring to Hendersonville to add to the entertainment?
Yes. And Sarah and I were kind of talking off radio for a moment about that, and just, I travel to Asheville every week, 3-4 times a week for live music, because I love live music, and that's one of the reasons why I moved to Western North Carolina. Art, culture, music.
Yes.
For me, it's not about the alcohol; it's about the other things
that
the area has to offer. I realize that the breweries put Asheville on the map, but it's so cool to be able to hear that that we may get something other than the third Thursday of the month and the Friday, and those are wonderful things. If you want to pull up a chair and listen to music, but I like to be able to move and having that there be more options for music that'll make you kind of your soul sing and your body move. That would be awesome. I said, ooh, it'd be great if we could get Tyler Childers to come. I saw him at the Christmas Jam last year at Haraz, and I was blown away. I mean, there was people there just for Tyler, and I want to see Tyler again.
Absolutely. He's amazing.
Yeah. And we joked about, the parking situation, but I'll say with any event, if it's large enough, that's where we rent out our parking lots, and it's after 7, and, whether it's the Welcome Center or it's the Apple lot or any of the lots in the area. I mean, maybe you pay $10 to park or whatever, but we get some bigger names and some bigger talent. That would be fabulous.
And people would come out for it.
Absolutely. Don't have to go to Greenville or what have you. So all of those are wonderful ideas, and I'm really excited to have Sara on today and on this morning, and grateful to be able to hear her shares and the wonderful things that are happening at the main event on South Main. And, be sure to check out their website again. What's the website again?
It is www.themaineventwnc.com.
Okay, so that and WNC part is important.
Very.
For sure. And you'll just keep an eye out. Maybe you'll be doing some ballroom dancing or what have you, and joining for some of the other events that are occurring. We'll just have to keep an eye on what's going on, because it seems like it's just a growing idea, growing business, something to support the local community, and I'm all about supporting the local community while I'm here each week. And so thank you. Another plug or another shout out, I was talking about construction earlier. I just want to say, if those of you that aren't familiar, my husband owns Greenway Construction. He is a licensed contractor. So that's why I know so much about, contracting. I do a lot of project management for him and his guys, and I can just really see the difference between quality licensed work and non. And I really, like I said, it really behooves you to make that choice. You can check him out on Facebook as well, or you can call or text me at 828-290-0940. I usually am the one you have to go through first anyways to get on his schedule, because it's a long list of people waiting for him and his guys to do their thing, and so it's awesome. So thank you for listening. Judy Bolton, Grateful Mindset Properties Realty Radio host, coming to you live each week, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. on WHKP 107.7 FM, AM 1450, or www.gratefulmindsetproperties.com, and check out our previous podcast. Thank you.